welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lyssy and I'm here with my lovely Griffon. If you guys agree she's the most beautiful Griffon you guys have ever seen in the entire world, smash a like on today's video and subscribe if you guys are new here, because I post videos about the weird, the strange, the haunted, and the unusual, and if you guys are weird like me, you guys should join the family. She said subscribe or she'll be sad. Nobody wants that. So today, guys, I felt like talking about a very specific haunted doll, because you guys know I love storytelling and I love talking about weird, creepy, haunted stuff. I'm just weird. But I've always had a fascination with this one haunted doll called Robert. I have covered him a few times in the past on my channel, but I've never done a full video spilling the tea about Robert, and the tea is hot, so today I wanted to do that. So if you guys want to hear one of the stories about the most cursed haunted dolls in the entire world, and in fact the doll that did himself inspire the movie Chucky, yes, Robert the Doll inspired the movie Chucky, stay tuned, grab a snack, get some water, stay hydrated, and brace yourself because this story is pretty crazy. So Robert the Doll is an allegedly haunted doll exhibited in the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. To this day, he resides there, but he was not there all of his life, and I want to get to why. Robert was once owned by a painter, an author, and a Key West resident, Robert Eugene Otto, and he is still in Key West, Florida today, by the way. That's where the museum that he's kept in is. Also, you can visit him in this museum to this day to take visitors to see Robert, but he has a lot of curses on him that I'm going to get to in this video, and reasons why you shouldn't see him in person or take his photo. But I actually wanted to go see him, so if this video were to get 20,000 likes, I would go fly to the Key West and see this doll. So if you guys want me to go see him, I will. So the doll originally belonged to Robert Eugene Otto, who was an artist, and he was reportedly manufactured by the Steiff Company in Germany, purchased by the Otto's grandfather while on a trip to Germany in 1904, and given to young Otto as a birthday gift for his birthday. The doll was wearing a sailor suit, and it was likely an outfit that Otto also wore as a child, and he is a one-of-a-kind handmade by the Steiff Company in Germany, and he stands 40 inches tall. He's at least the size of a small child, so he's not tiny. I know they have like replicas of him now that are super tiny. I want to get a replica of him. I think it'd be cool. But he's huge compared to a lot of the replicas of him. He is stuffed with wood wool known as exeler. I don't know if I said that right. His unusual size indicates that he might have been fashionized in the image of his constant companion, a boy named Robert Eugene Otto. The doll took Robert as his name, while the boy simply went by Gene. He also was holding a small stuffed lion, and he sits in a chair, so I also wanted to point that out. He has like his arms in a little chair, and he has this little stuffed lion. Don't really know why he's a sailor doll with a lion. It's kind of interesting. So this doll remained stored in the Otto family home, 534 Eaton Street in Key West. Otto ended up marrying Annette Parker in Paris on May 3rd of 1930. The couple returned to the Otto family home in Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974. His wife actually died 2 years later, and after their deaths, the doll was eventually sold. It was sold to a person named Myrtle, who owned it for 20 years. In 1994, the doll was donated to the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where it became a popular tourist attraction, and hundreds of thousands of people visit this doll every single year. According to Robert's legend, this doll has supernatural abilities attached to it. Abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and even make giggling sounds. Some versions of the legend claim that a young girl gave Otto the doll as a gift for wrongdoing, actually. I don't know how true that story is. Other stories claim that the doll moved voodoo figurines around the room and was aware of what went on around him. Like he, or whatever was inside of Robert, knew about his surroundings and was fully aware. Still, other legends claim that the doll vanished after Otto's house changed ownership a number of times after his death, or that a young Otto triggered the doll's supernatural powers by blaming his childhood mishaps on the doll. According to local folklore, the doll has caused car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes. So just a whole long legend of things that they blame the doll for. And museum visitors supposedly experience post-visit misfortunes after visiting this doll for failing to respect Robert. There's even been recent TikToks of a lady visiting Robert the doll, which I'm going to put here on the screen.
So Robert, I have been on the search for a haunted doll for months now, and I have never found one. But I feel this one is calling my name. So I'm asking and imploring you or one of your spirits to attach yourselves to my mini Robert so he can haunt me.
And as you guys can see clearly in this video, she goes to provoke Robert, yells saying, "Give me one of your spirits," and then she ends up in the hospital for provoking this doll. Because it is cursed, it does have something attached to it, and it is powerful. So this is a doll that you never want to disrespect. And there's a lot of other stories about how guests have disrespect Robert and what Robert has done back to the guests who have disrespected him.
People have been scratched, clothes have been tugged on, incidents of bad luck, disease, car crashes, lives spiral out of control.
Anyways, getting back onto the house that this doll lived in with its original owner growing up, there are some things I want to cover about the property. So the house that Robert lived in, where Eugene lived, is actually now called the Artist House. It was here that Eugene was given Robert the doll. While he seemed like an ordinary cloth doll, it wasn't long before Robert involved in strange and terrifying events that actually took place in that artist house. The first hint was something out of the ordinary was happening one night when Gene was only 10 years old. He was super young when he had first gotten the doll. He awoke to find Robert the doll sitting at the end of his bed just staring at him. Moments later, his mother awakened by his screams for help and then sounds of furniture overturned in her son's bedroom. Gene cried for help, begging his mother to rescue him. When she was finally able to wrench the locked door open, she saw poor Gene curled up on his bed, just crying in fear over this doll. While of course the doll was sitting on the foot of this kid's bed. He would always say, "Robert did it! Robert did it!" And those were the only words he can get out when something so traumatic happened to him or something that Robert did to him and he had to tell his parents. He'd be like, "Robert did it! Robert did it!" And that's all he would say. Nobody knows for sure why or how this child's plaything could have actually had something so evil or powerful attached to it, because it was just supposed to be a toy or a gift for this kid's birthday. But it's pretty unexplainable. Gene's parents would actually often hear their son upstairs talking to the doll and getting a response back from the doll in a totally different voice, if that's not creepy enough for you guys. They also reported seeing the doll speak and witnessing his expressions on his face all of a sudden change. Giggling and sightings of Robert running up the stairs or staring out the upstairs window were also reported, and some people to this day still hope to see something connected to the house, which would be a resemblance of Robert the doll, because some people have theories that the house had some underground portal or haunting connected to it that also could have possessed this doll. Who knows? Eventually, Gene decided the doll needed a room of his own and placed him upstairs in a room that had a window overlooking the street. So that's when he was looking out the window quite often. So Annie, the wife, obviously felt uncomfortable and uneasy with Robert the doll being in the house, and although she couldn't put her finger on it, she wanted Gene to lock the doll up in the attic where he could do no more harm. Gene obviously had to make his wife happy, so he took Robert the doll, locked him in the attic, and of course, Robert did not like any of that. Soon when they had visitors come over, they would hear loud, stepping, angry footsteps in the attic where Robert was locked up, of course, because he was pissed for being locked up there. And they also claimed to hear devilish growling and giggling from the attic, which is horrifying. And neighborhood children reported seeing Robert watching them from their upstairs windows in their bedrooms, peeking out from their house. And there's been accounts of the doll actually mocking the kids as they walked to school, which is kind of funny, not gonna lie, but kind of scary. When Gene heard this, he immediately went to investigate, knowing that he had locked Robert in the attic after the kids told him that the doll was mocking them when they walked to school. He thought there was no way they could be sitting by the window of the upstairs bedroom, but to his complete shock, he actually did leave the attic and move back to the upstairs bedroom where he was mocking the kids and looking out the window. He was sitting in a rocking chair by the window. Gene ended up locking Robert back up in the attic several times, each time discovering him, then again moving back to the window in the same upstairs bedroom. Like, he was not able to keep Robert in the attic, he would just move and do his own thing. Then there was even one account of a little girl claiming that Robert had threatened to kill her. There was a new girl who moved into the Eaton Street where their 10-year-old daughter was delighted to find Robert the doll in the attic, but then she actually claimed that Robert was alive and the doll wanted to hurt her, that he had said something to her. She woke up often in the middle of the night screaming in fear and told her parents that Robert had moved about in the room. So after all that chaos that Robert had caused in that house where he was living in the artist house, it wasn't before that doll finally made his final debut and was given away as a donation to the museum because of all the chaos and things he was doing. Visitors would come from all over the world and they wanted to see if this doll was truly actually possessed. And to their surprise, a lot of the people who did mock them ended up having to go all the way back just to travel and give this doll an apology letter. And there are hundreds of these letters that are people apologizing to Robert because he did not want his photo taken. That was the #1 rule. You cannot take a photo or video of Robert without his consent because he did not like to be photographed. And so a lot of people that did take Robert's photo without asking him or being polite about it got curses on them and had their whole lives ruined by Robert. I will put some of the apology letters here on the screen. As you guys can see, he's caused car accidents, misfortunes, really bad luck, job loss, terrible things have happened to people who have disrespected this doll. Many have reported their cameras becoming inoperable even when they try to take a photo of Robert's, only to begin working again magically once they left the museum. So getting a photo of him in the first place is almost nearly impossible. So Robert the doll actually sits inside of a gigantic glass case, but it doesn't seem to stop him from messing with other people. Staff members even report that Robert's facial expression changes and they've seen it change. They've heard demonic giggling and even seen Robert put his hands up against the glass case while they were working their shifts at this his museum. There's been so many accounts of things just going so wrong, and so many people have visited this doll and posted their traumatic stories about it, and someday I really want to go check it out for myself and see if Robert really is as haunted and cursed as people make him seem to be, or if he's just lonely and upset that his owner actually gave him up and locked him in the attic. Who knows? Or maybe he's linked to some voodoo magic like a lot of people claim, but his story is pretty fascinating. I cannot believe this doll inspired the Chucky movie and has caused so much chaos and mishap in people's lives. Anyways guys, comment down below, what do you guys think about Robert? Do you guys think that he's actually demonic, or do you guys think he's upset? And would you guys ever visit this doll in the museum? Comment down below. Anyways guys, that's the story of Robert. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, be sure to smash a like and subscribe to join the family. I post new videos every single week, so be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on my future videos. It's been your girl Lyssy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!